Now, copyright as a concept is about protecting a person's right to something they created. In the United States, the Constitution originally explained that copyright will promote the progress of science and useful arts by securing for limited times to authors and inventors the exclusive right to their respective writings and discoveries. So there's long been this assumption that copyright is supposed to benefit the public good. Now, the United States government took this one step further when they decided that all works created by employees of the federal government could not be copyrighted. They decided that this material was public domain. Now, if an item is public domain, it's freely usable by the public. You can use it however you want. Now, when the copyright term ends for a work, it enters into the public domain. When a copyright owner can't be contacted or found in order to give permission to allow the work to be used, the work is assumed to be abandoned. That also becomes an orphan work and is then also considered to be public domain. Now, here's a little riddle. Can you think of a copyright that will never end? Now, Disney's well known for sponsoring recent legislation which extended current copyright terms. Many observers believe that Disney will never let Mickey Mouse and other characters enter the public domain. The funny thing is, one of Disney's most famous films does have a very special copyright that, in essence, has not ended. That's the stage play and then book of Peter Pan. In 1929, James Barrie, the author, granted the copyright to a children's hospital. In Great Britain, the copyright expired in 1987, but Parliament passed a special law that would allow the hospital to continue seeking royalties as a copyright owner. However, Peter Pan is in the public domain in the United States. Now, obviously, this brings up a new challenge for those of us creating work for use online, especially as far as distance learning. There's no guarantee that an item is public domain everywhere it will be seen. This is a great reason why Creative Commons is valuable to educators and other media producers. So we know that public domain basically allows us carte blanche to use materials however we like. And we know that copyright is useful because it protects the original creator. Now, Creative Commons licensing allows for a unique merging of both of these philosophies. With these licenses, a creator, it could be a writer, a musician, an educator, a filmmaker, that creator owns the copyright, but has made it much more possible for the average person, the public, to freely use this material. Now, the seeds for Creative Commons actually come from the free software movement and early computer users. In the 1970s, hobbyists began building home computers using manufactured kits. People came together in special interest groups, which are called SIGs, to help one another. As they worked on projects, some programmers decided they wanted to make it really easy for people to take apart, modify, and share the code with other people. Now, they called this concept copyleft rather than copyright. Copyleft work would allow people to build on the same work, maintaining a free and open license for each subsequent version. No one would hold an exclusive right to these works, no matter how many changes they made. Now, in the 1980s, the Free Software Foundation was formed to make more free software available to computer users. The foundation began sponsoring the GNU project, which was going to be a software program and system similar to Unix. GNU stands for GNU's Not Unix. Now, the GNU project's new copyleft license was so popular, other developers wanted to use it for themselves. So the GNU General Public License, or GPL, was released in 1989 and has been used by many different software projects and increasingly for other works, including, for instance, music, text, films, videos. At the same time, in the last 20 years, a new open source movement has grown in the computer world. Open source means that the source code for a program or operating system, like Windows, is available to its users. These users can then tweak the code or develop new and distinct forms, which they call forks, that branch off from the original program. As a result, Many people today believe that source code and other intellectual property should be made freely accessible over the internet. Others still believe that the copyright owner should control all rights to his or her work. A group led by Lawrence Lessig, a lawyer and theorist, developed Creative Commons licensing to find a middle ground. This would allow copyright owners to release a little or a lot of the rights to their materials. At the same time, they would still maintain control over their works. So if an item has a Creative Commons license, it means that the creator still maintains the rights and is defined which rights they will be sharing with the public.